Welcome! This video is to instruct the user how to utilize credential effective dates in your funding sources. We will review setting up credential effective dates in the funding source record, as well as what to expect when reviewing staff records, scheduling, and the Scheduling Genie. Before we begin, here are some of the key benefits to using credential effective dates. To indicate when funding source services are in effect, to allow changes to credential requirements even if appointments exist for the service being updated, to provide validation warnings when changes to the staff member's qualifications may affect existing appointments, to bypass validations on any appointments that have already been rendered when staff qualification or funding source requirements are changed. To begin, start on your MPWorks main screen. Select the funding source of your choosing. With the funding source record open, select the Services tab. Next, select the service you wish to add or edit a credential effective date for. Then select the credential that needs to be added or edited from the lower portion of the screen. Once you have determined if the credential requires filing and/or is the primary credential, you will see two columns titled Start Date and End Date. These are the credential effective dates. Please keep the following in mind while entering a credential effective date. A blank start date means all unrendered appointments up until the effective end date will be validated. Likewise, a blank effective end date means all unrendered appointments on and after the effective start date will be validated. If both start and end dates are blank, all unrendered appointments will be validated. To enter a start date or end date, click within the field. The current date will be displayed. Click on the selection box to enable the start date or the end date. To adjust the date, either type in the appropriate date or use the drop-down calendar to select the desired date. When the funding source record is saved, a warning message will be displayed if there are any existing appointments that will not meet the new credential requirement. The warning will distinguish rendered appointments from unrendered, with the explanation that rendered appointments may not be billable. While unrendered appointments will get validation warnings and will not be renderable until the staff qualifications are fixed or until a new staff member is assigned to the appointment. With the warning message displayed, click on OK to proceed to save and close the record, or click on Cancel to review the credential. To see the affected appointments, click on the Credentials Warning tab within the funding source record. Here, all existing appointments that do not meet credential requirements will be listed. Click on the Export button to export the affected appointment list to Excel. This data is to be used to analyze which staff's qualifications need to be corrected and/or which appointments will need another staff member assigned to them. Next, let's review credential requirements and staff records. If a staff member's qualifications are updated and, as a result, existing appointments will not satisfy the funding source's credential requirements, upon saving, the user will be warned and the update will be allowed. Similar to funding source service credential requirement updates, the error message will distinguish between existing rendered and unrendered appointments. Moving on to the scheduling component of credential effective dates. When scheduled appointments are validated to ensure that the staff member's qualifications meet the funding source required credentials, the validations will only be applied if the appointment date falls within the funding source's credential effective dates and the appointment is not rendered. The following are two ways for the validation message regarding the credential effective dates will be displayed on the schedule. Validate or save already created, rendered, and/or unrendered appointments after removing the required credentials for the service on a staff member's record. Attempt to validate or save rendered and/or unrendered appointments using a staff member that does not meet the credentials requirement for the service beforehand. Lastly, we will discuss how the credential effective dates affect the Scheduling Genie. Based on the service and date range selected, When searching for a staff member to match with a client, the Scheduling Genie will take into account if the funding source requires one or more credentials, the staff member has their credentials entered in their record. When searching for a staff in the Scheduling Genie, staff who do not meet all credential requirements will be excluded from the display results unless the Include Incomplete Credentials option is selected. When staff members with incomplete credentials are included in the search, the staff members who satisfy all of the credential requirements will be scored higher than those with incomplete credentials. Since credentials is just one of many attributes and factors that are considered when matching staff with clients, it is possible that a staff member who does not hold all of the required credentials may still rank higher overall than a staff member who does hold all of the credentials. If you have any questions about utilizing credential effective dates, please contact our support team at support@codemetro.com or at 877-796-9883.